Hello, everyone. Let's dance.
Let's dance.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Tim and Jim Show. I'm Tim Sohn of Sohn Social Media Solutions, hanging out here in the woods in Northeast Pennsylvania. And I'm here today with my friend and amazing co-host, Jim. Take it away, my friend.
Well, it's good to see you, Tim, and I'm really excited to have our guest today. I'm Jim Fuse, Fusion Marketing, doing marketing the Marine Corps way. And can you believe, Tim, that next Tuesday will mark 12 years since I retired? I guess I'll say from my first job as a Marine Lieutenant Colonel. So,
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you for
12
your
years.
service, Jim.
Thank you. But yeah, so I've been doing this show with you. Last week was 3 years. Can you believe it? I mean,
That's crazy.
it's,
Crazy.
and
And Jim is the one that keeps everything in order around here. I mean, he has that Marine background, so he cracks the whip. You know, if I get out of line, he just gets things right back in order.
I mean, I did 10 push-ups before the show. I'm ready.
It's like having a kid, though. It's like they don't always listen. So I do what I can. But no, I was fortunate enough 2 weeks ago to be in Lima, Ohio, not Lima, where there's llamas, Tim, and get to see our guest speak. Julia was amazing. I was captivated. I think she was maybe the best speaker there. Her message really resonated with me, and I think she needs to be on more stages. So if you're looking for a speaker after you watch the show today, you'll understand why, because she's just amazing. And so with that, Julia, welcome to the Tim and Jim Show, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for that really sweet introduction. I appreciate that so much. I am Julia Jornsay-Silverberg. I am the brand manager at Now Marketing Group, and I am a anti-highlight reel creator. My whole purpose in being on social media is to talk about the full gamut of the human experience. I think that a lot of times people look at social media as a highlight reel, and I am all about creating real content so that we can actually create connections on these platforms. So I'm just so excited to be here. Lima was incredible, and it was so great to get to meet you in person, Jim.
Oh, absolutely. Great to meet you as well.
And sorry, Jim.
Oh, no, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I liked how you used the word real in there. You talked about anti-highlight reel and then real. Go ahead.
Don't make me spell, though. That would involve grammar. But so today, though, we're going to talk about, this is what Julia definitely specializes, and that's being human on social media to create connection. And I mean, yeah, you talk about your radiating real, Tim. You got to definitely, if you're not already following Julia, because she is definitely the real deal. And so, Tim, should we get started with question number 1?
Let's go.
All right.
Yes. So, Julia, what got you started in being human on social media anyway? Are we all human anyway? I mean,
we are all human, but I think that a lot of times people think, okay, I've got a business in this particular area, and this is the only area that I can or should talk about. But what actually got me started being being really human on social media and kind of pulling that curtain back was in December 2017. I actually ended up calling off my wedding and ending a relationship of 6.5 years. And at that time, my fiance was a major part of my social media presence. And I realized I had an opportunity to share a little bit with my audience and tell them, this is what's going on in my life. I'm a little heartbroken. I'm kind of sad. I'm going through a huge life transition of moving to a new apartment. And I didn't give them the nitty-gritty details of what happened, because that isn't important or relevant, but I shared how I was feeling and how I was helping myself get through those tough feelings. And I got so many messages from people that I'd never even spoken to before, saying, hey, I also have anxiety, or hey, I also went through a breakup. Thank you so much for normalizing speaking about these things. Because I think what happens is we create this highlight reel of social media where we only post about the fun, exciting, pretty moments. And while that's super great to do, it doesn't let someone actually get to know who we are when we're only sharing half of our reality. Because part of being human means sometimes you're going to get anxious. Sometimes you're going to feel imposter syndrome. Sometimes life is going to happen and you're going to feel kind of depressed and go through a season. I mean, I think everyone watching this can understand, as a result of living through a pandemic, life has been pretty overwhelming at times. And I saw that by speaking about that, people were like, hey, oh my God, I've also felt that way. And I was really able to start creating deep connections in a way that I never had before, when all I was willing to talk about were the top 10 tips for doing a Twitter chat. You know, while it's good to share information, if you can also share your humanity, that's where you really find that special ability to connect with people, and not just surface level connections, like real connections and really getting to know people. So that's what got me started on my journey to doing that.
Wow. And I think, Tim, I mean, you think about the fact that she talked about breaking up with her fiance on social media. I mean, I'll be a little human, but it's tough for me to be human because I'm a Marine.
I know it is. Yeah.
But I'm on my second marriage. I was divorced in the 2012, 2013 timeframe, and for a long time, it's one of those things I really haven't talked about. And so I think kudos to you, Julia, for being able to talk about that. But I think sometimes just by letting people know that, they can relate. Because unfortunately, because I'm not saying that divorce is a great thing by any stretch of the imagination, it's become a bigger part of our society, and even more so in my age generation. It's like a lot of people, it's like their kids are getting done with high school, they're off to college, and then they're like, I don't even know who you are, I want a divorce, I want to go on with my life. And it's sad, because that's not how we were raised. We were raised that marriage was supposed to be, for better or worse, richer, poor, sickness and in health, till death do us part. And doesn't seem like that's always what happens these days. So there you go, Tim. I shared something.
Kudos to you, Jim. And Julia, this conversation is totally resonating with me, because over a few months ago, I shared my story of in December, I'm going to be celebrating 15 years living with chronic leukemia. And I had never I've shared it a little bit, never on a live show before, never in any sort of depth or emotion or that kind of thing. And I did that. And tomorrow I'm going to be speaking with somebody on a call who just recently got diagnosed. He reached out to me. He said, I was recently diagnosed. Could I talk to you? Wow, you've survived it for 15 years. Can we talk? So this conversation is like, because before also I used to, do posts, 3 ways to get past the anxiety of live video, or, all that business, transactional, blah, 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 but not the human element so much,
Exactly. And I think the thing is us giving ourselves permission to talk about both is, I think we have this mindset, right? That we have to have this tunnel vision. I can only talk about this because this is what I do for business. But the reality is, when it comes down to business, we like doing business with people that we like. And we can only understand whether we like someone if we know more about them beyond just what they do for business. So it all plays in. And I think that the more we can understand that it's holistic, the more we can give ourselves permission to share about that stuff. Because also, I think a lot of people, they create this association in their head that if I talk about my personal life, I'm not professional. That's not true. If you talk about your personal life in an unprofessional way, then yes. But there is a very real ability to speak about your personal life and still be professional. And when you do that, people feel like they really know you. And that's how you're able to grow a business. It's how you're able to grow relationships with the right people.
Yeah. And I don't know if either one of you have had a chance to read the book. Ryan Foland and Leonard Kim wrote this book called Ditch the Act. And he spoke to that specifically, like, when you share things like you do, Julie, and like you've been doing, Tim, people connect with you, right? Which really kind of goes back to, your boss, Julia, Jessica Phillips, with what she's done with Now Marketing Group and relationship marketing. And the beauty of what the conference in Lima is just how much everybody got to know each other, and it's more like a family reunion. I think you've seen me say than
I love that.
than a meeting, because you're seeing people you haven't seen, or oh, I didn't know that you were my second cousin twice removed, and it was just such a great time of really getting to know people. And I think that we've all seen, especially sometimes with social, is people put on a persona when they're on camera or when they're posting things. And then you'll meet them in real life and you're like, what a jerk. Or that's not really who that person makes themselves appear to be. And I think something I take pride in is that when people meet me, they're like, I'm no different than I am right now. Not as exciting and funny as Tim, but I'm working on
Yes,
it,
you
but
are.
it's not.
Jim,
easy.
you have opened up a lot since we started this show. Used to be much more stiff,
Conservative.
I would say. Like, yeah, like you
Well,
smile more, you laugh more. I
yeah.
think, right?
I think. Well, part of it though too. It's funny is my last job in the military, I was part of the Marine Special Operations Command, and our motto is we're the quiet professionals. So we don't sit there and boast and talk about how great we are and things like that. We're just like, we do our job, we get the job done, and we don't always feel like we need the participation trophy, I guess, for lack of a better term, that we see in a lot of society today. And so I think that's, so I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just a mindset. And I mean, I think we all have accomplished a lot of things in our life, and for me, it's just I'm happy with who I am, and I'm more into building solid friendships and surrounding myself with good people. Right? I definitely believe in that Jim Rome thing of you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And so yeah, there's people that aren't in my life anymore because I don't have time for that kind of negativity in my life. I mean, how do you feel about that, Julia? Is that something you think is important?
Oh, absolutely. I really believe in that, so much so. And it's like what you said, Jessica has done such an incredible job at creating this team at Now Marketing Group of people who we all have our different areas of expertise, but we all have the same values. And we all really care about, this is kind of one of our kind of mantras at Now, which is doing what's right, not what's easy. And everyone on the team really lives that philosophy. We want to do what's right, not what's easy. And just by being surrounded by people like that, you feel uplifted, you feel empowered, you feel respected, appreciated, understood. I mean, I have worked at a number of different companies. And before I joined Now, I worked at an agency based in Buffalo for 4.5 years. And I will say, I feel more respected in the Now team before I even met some of my coworkers in real life. I felt more respected, appreciated, understood, and valued in this digital format of a team than I did in an in-person working place for 4.5 years. So It really is such a testament to the people around you change everything about your life. And I love that you made that point, Jim, that sometimes as we grow, people are no longer aligned as close people in our lives. And it's okay to decide to put your precious energy and time and attention into fostering other relationships that make you feel good.
Yeah, so true. And Katie Simpson's got a question for you, and that is, how do you stay professional and still be human and open about struggles?
So I think it's about really coming from the mindset of wanting to deliver a specific message or a point. So in my deciding to share with my audience to say that I called off my wedding, no one knew why I called it off, because that is not what my message was. That was not the takeaway that I needed anyone to get. The takeaway that I wanted people to get were, it's okay to make decisions even if there's some costs at play, right? We had saved the dates out. I had a wedding dress. We had all of it. It's okay to do what is right for you and follow your gut and make decisions that are aligned for you, even if they're scary. If you know you should do something, it is okay to give yourself permission to do it, because that is giving yourself a gift. And so I think you stay professional by getting clear on what is the takeaway that I want my audience to have, so that that is the focus of your message, and you don't get lost in the weeds and create discomfort for your audience, right? Because that's also the thing, is you need to understand and package things up so that you have something to give to your audience that's valuable. You don't want to just bring a struggle to them with no solution, because then they're sitting there and they're like, I'm uncomfortable now. How are we solving this problem, right? You have to kind of figure out what's the solution here. And then that is something that is tangible and valuable that you can give to your audience, and it will help them and benefit them. But just coming to them with a mess and saying you're being transparent, that's not helping anyone. It's not helping you, and it's not helping your audience.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. This really resonates with me as well, because last week, I went to a school board meeting and I wanted to write a post about it, but you guys can probably guess what the topic is about. I'm not even going to say what it was. And when I created the post, the main point of the post was that it's important to show up and use your voice to defend your family, something like that. Not that, all the other stuff. And I even said in the post, I said, I'm not even going to say what the topic is, right? But that was the main point, and it really resonated with people. So yeah, love that for sure.
Right. And so we're going to go to this second question. And this was what Julia, main part of her talk at Lima. And I just, still am blown away by it. And that is, what is the humans system that you have developed, Julia?
Okay, so this is super fun. So I'm going to take you guys through the system, and then maybe some people will have some questions about it. So I'm going to kind of go through it pretty quickly, and then we can always dive into whatever feels the most relevant for our audience here. But it all starts out with having a plan. Because if you're going to be on social media, if you're going to have a business, literally anything, you need to have a plan in place. Who are you talking to? What's your tone of voice? How are you coming across? Right? Have a plan in place. How are you measuring success? What are the calls to action you're going to make of people? So that this way you are really able to strategically map out where you're showing up, why you're showing up, who you're showing up for, how often you're showing up. So the plan has to be the first step. Then it's about understanding what's your special sauce. What's the thing that makes you, you? For me, it's a two thing. My energy, for sure. I've got a whole lot of energy. I've been this way since literally I was born. If you see videos of me from my 5-year-old birthday party, I am dancing around this gymnastics place. I am who I am. I've always been this way. So what is the thing that makes you, you, so that you can bring it to the table? The other thing that makes me me is my willingness to be vulnerable. That understanding, it's my energy and my willingness to be vulnerable. That is why people come back time and time again to my content. Now I can find ways to infuse that into my content around the messaging that I want to deliver. So figuring out what's the thing that makes you, you. Jim, we don't expect you to be all silly and goofy, because that's not you. You know what your special sauce is, and you bring that, and people are attracted to that. So then we go into M, which is all about making a commitment to showing up. And this is committing to showing up consistently, right? Because if you're not showing up consistently, you can't build trust. You guys have grown this huge audience. You guys have people that want to be on your show because you guys are showing up every single week. And you guys have been doing this for 3 years. The consistency is critical to creating a sense of community. So it's showing up consistently and showing up as you are consistently, so that, like Jim said, when someone meets you in real life, they're like, oh yeah, what I saw online is exactly what I'm getting here. Consistency creates trust. So then H-U-M-A. Okay, so A is all about, you got to ask your audience questions. Make them a part of it. Involve them. Use polls, use stickers. Get to know your audience. Number one, it's going to be great information for you to have so that you know how you can serve them, how you can help them. But not only that, asking your audience questions shows them that you care. It shows them that you want to know them. It shows them that you care about their opinion. And we like engaging with people that care about us. So not only are you going to get to know your audience more, you're going to show them that you care. It's going to make them feel good. It's going to make you feel good. Then you move into the N, which is never stop learning. And this is like never stop learning in a really broad sense. Never stop learning, firstly, about social media. These platforms are changing all the time. Algorithms are changing. Functionality and features are changing. Best practices are changing. So as a business, no matter what industry you're in, you are likely using social media to get the word about your business, and you need to make sure you never stop learning the new and different ways that are effective to doing that. You also need to never stop learning about yourself. How are you changing and growing and evolving, right? Because as you learn about yourself, you might have a different 5 people that you want to surround yourself with, right? So never stopping to learn about yourself and never stopping to learn about your audience, your customers, as their needs and preferences evolve. Never stopping to take the time to learn about them so that you can show up and serve them and help them. And then the most important final step in the system is shining a light, because our brains are literally hardwired to focus on and remember negative things. So we have to make it a practice to focus on the positive. We have to make it a practice to find ways to be grateful. Oh, this comment right here, I had to stop because it is just so wonderful. Stefan, that means the world to me, and I hope we can connect after this so that I can shine a light on you. Because shining a light is really how we truly build those relationships. It's shining a light on the connections you're creating. It's shining a light on yourself when you have wins and exciting successes. It's shining a light on your team. One of the things that I started to do when I joined Now Marketing Group as the brand manager was I noticed that for any of our team birthdays or anniversaries, like work anniversaries, we would put up just like a photo of the person and be like, hey, happy birthday or happy anniversary. And I was like, how can we shine a light on our team more? Because our team's amazing and I love everyone on our team. And I'm like, I want to make everyone feel more special than a graphic can do. So we started making these birthday and anniversary videos. Different members on the team will record a 10-second little clip. Hey, Andreas is celebrating his 2-year now-anniversary tomorrow. And we're all everyone's sending video clips to me to share a little happy anniversary message for Andreas for all the hard work he's done in 2 years at Now. And those videos it shines a light on our team. It makes our teammates feel special. It further creates that connection among the team. And also our clients are like, oh my God, Andreas is my account manager. I love Andreas. And so shining a light on yourself, on your growth, on your team, on your clients, featuring your clients, sharing their success stories. The more we shine a light, the better we feel, the better we make other people feel. And it just all contributes to a lot of great connection and just feeling good.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Tim, what do you think? Did you memorize it yet?
Yes. I didn't memorize it, but I did write down. I did type them down as she was saying them. And I love what you were saying about shining a light on others. I very much believe in that as well. And yourself, and never stop learning about yourself, your audience. There's so much goodness in here. Yeah, I just love it all. And the consistency part, that part is, and showing up, like just getting started and showing up consistently. And then your people will show up for you, like we're here right now, right? And we should shout out some of the people who are here right now. Kay Simpson from the UK is here. Hey, Katie. Russ Hedges here. Hey, Russ. Stefan Kaplan. Stefan Kaplan has an amazing show called The Spin It Social Hour. He's an amazing live streaming producer as well. And everyone else who is here, thank you. We appreciate you all so much.
Yeah,
And
thank you,
shout out
guys.
to Chris Stone, who also has
Yes.
the one who did our incredible intro video. So if you want
So good.
videos that rock, just message me or Chris, and happy to get you in touch with Chris. And he also helped us redevelop our show graphics. So there's a lot that can be done, right? We love StreamYard. That's what we use to go live every week since I think February of 19 is when we switched over to StreamYard. And I don't even remember what that other program was we used to use, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know either, but we should also shout out Elise van Straten is here from South Africa.
Wow.
So
Wow.
thank you for being here. And Chris Stone, and I hope I didn't miss anyone, but we appreciate you all. So thank you so much. And let us know what questions you have for Julia. I'm sure she's happy to answer them for you if you have any more as we go.
I really am.
Forward.
And before we go we have a message from our sponsor, StreamYard. You've actually got something that you're offering to our audience today, Julia, and that is a journal prompt, a self-awareness worksheet. So I've got that here on screen. Tim's going to share that in the chat over on LinkedIn, and I'll share it in the chat on our other channels as well. But tell us a little bit about the worksheet.
So my whole thing is really, I believe that the more that we tap into self-awareness, I think that's where it starts. Like truly, if Jessica Phillips wasn't as self-aware as she is, she would not have been able to assemble the team that she knows is the right team she needs to do the work that we do at Now Marketing Group. And Jessica always says it starts from the inside out. If you're building a business, your culture starts from the inside out. As human beings, we have to start from the inside out. And so I believe that self-awareness is a superpower. And the more that every single person can tap into self-awareness, you are going to know yourself better, which is going to allow you to make better decisions, which is going to allow you to grow your confidence, grow relationships. It is going to be this ripple effect of amazingness in your life. But I think that a lot of times people feel very intimidated. How do I start journaling? How do I start tapping into that? And so I made a very simple one-sheeter. It is literally 5 prompts for you to go through and fill out this little journaling practice. If you do it every single day, I can almost guarantee you that after even just 2 weeks, you are going to feel like you know yourself better. And so the 5 prompts are, I am, I think, I want, I need, and I feel. Differentiating between those is going to blow your mind open, because a lot of times, here's the thing, is we will start out with you're thinking I am, right? And your first thing is I am, maybe you're going to say anxious. No, that's a feeling. I am strong. That's an I am statement. And so also getting to differentiate, what is the difference between a feeling, a thought, a need, and a want is going to help you really get to know yourself better. And I just think so much magic happens when we really get to know ourselves.
Awesome. All right, folks, we'll be right back in about 15 seconds. And so we're going to hear from our friends at StreamYard.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Tim and Jim Show. We're here with Julia and Jim. Where do we go from here? We're so grateful Julia is here.
We have question number 3, Tim, for you to ask Julia.
Drum roll. Julia, how can we become more #unfiltered in social media?
I believe that we can become more unfiltered in social media by pulling the curtain back and sharing a little bit more about the things that make us a human being. And by doing so, you give people permission to do the same. It is not about sharing every little nitty-gritty thing that happens. It is about figuring out how, based on the things that you've experienced, the things you're passionate about, how can you provide value and really help people to just tap into who they are and feel comfortable bringing that forward.
Very true. And I think, Tim, you've really been doing a great job of this lately I think it ties in with what you're doing with Nancy and the others in the Radiating Real group.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing, Tim Sohn Unfiltered. Right? That could be a
It's
show.
true. It's true. For so long, I used to do, like I was saying, those more like business, which I do some of. Actually, I looked back and I haven't done many of them in like quite a while. So I need to balance that more. But yeah, Nancy Barrows, who collaborates with me and Brian Schulman on Shout Out Saturday and What's Good Wednesday, she's often here watching the show as well. And she created this movement called the Radiating Real movement. And it really started out just asking people to use the hashtag Radiating Real and take a picture of you in the morning after you woke up. And the point of it was just to show up as your authentic, beautiful self. Yeah, so that's really the idea of it. And then I've just kind of continued it, and many others as well, as showing up whatever moment you're in, being yourself, not all polished and shiny, but like this is you in the moment.
I love that so much. And I think especially there's a big thing that I have seen for women in feeling like you cannot show up on camera unless you have your hair and your makeup. And did I blow my hair out and put some makeup on today? I did. But am I willing to go on camera without my hair done and my makeup done? Yes, I am, because our unfiltered self is relatable. And also, we are beautiful enough as is. You don't need makeup and perfect hair in order to take up space online. And the more that we can really, really allow that, George is trying to crack me up live, and he's doing it. You know what you're doing, George Manis. But the more that we can give ourselves permission to show up as we are, unfiltered, right? Radiating real, the more trustworthy we are, the more believable we are. And again, it's giving people permission to do the same, right? You don't have to put on a full face of makeup and do your hair perfectly in order to show up on camera. You're beautiful just as you are.
That's so true. And sorry, Jim.
No, I was going to say too, you both bring up a great point. It's like social media is supposed to be social. So it's not always about broadcasting, so to speak, like this is what I do and we do this and we do that. It's talking about real life. It's asking people, going back to the A in humans, asking people, what are your challenges? What is it you need help with? Ifat Cohen talks about that sometimes that we don't think about as even as now marketing group, but I know they do this, but maybe talk about how a client solved a problem and you were just glad to be a part of it, as opposed to talking about yourself. And that is what's going to attract people to want to work with you more so than just always broadcasting. And George has got another comment.
Yes, the Tim dance. Radiating finger dancing.
Yeah. Yes. No,
but also Russ, I was just going to say, Russ Hedge recently did a Radiating Real post. He had COVID. He got COVID, and he did several posts where he showed up in the moment with COVID, a picture, what was going on with him. And also Carl Sullivan, who's here, he lives with chronic fatigue syndrome, and he wasn't feeling well the other day, and he did that as well. So those are all examples of, right, being unfiltered or radiating real, that like there's other people out there that are going through that as well. So it's relatable, right?
Exactly. I guarantee you that anyone that saw that post that has ever experienced that, even if it wasn't right now, seeing that was that connecting moment for them, of that when you get someone saying in their brain, oh my God, me too. That's how you know. That's how you know you're putting out stuff that people can resonate with. And that is really how we start to create those connections.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So this has been amazing, Julia. I'm so glad we were able to get you scheduled so soon after Lima. It worked out, because I just think, like I said, your talk, your message resonated with me, and I thought it was important that we share it with our audience, because I think that whether you're just a fan or a business owner or whatever, this is a message that is important. I think Stefan hit it earlier, right? People are going through a lot right now because of all the craziness with what's going on in the world. And so we need that. And you give us permission to be ourselves, right? And I think that's something that people need to hear as well. So Tim, do you know who our guest next week is going to be?
I do. Our guest is Howie Zales, and he's going to be talking about live streaming production and how to go about doing that. So I'm super excited. I connected with him a while back, and really excited to have him on the show. So make
That'll
sure to
be
come
great.
back next week. Yes.
And Julia can be connected with, I think it's everywhere, right? At JBeth JS. She pretty much, she was smart as a marketer and got that long ago. My frustration is Twitter wasn't long enough for me to spell out marketing, and so I should have probably started there, but I went backwards. And Twitter was not my first place, believe it or not. It used to be Facebook, but now it's Twitter and LinkedIn, and I'm working on that whole Instagram thing, because I know you're doing some great stuff over there, Julia, on Instagram. And now is that your favorite channel?
That's my absolute favorite channel, for sure. And like Jim said, I'm at JBethJS literally anywhere. I mean, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. That's my handle. But I've got a soft spot for Instagram, because you know what? I think it's because Instagram is the place where I see the most highlight reel content. And so I really feel good about showing up there and being like, I know you're seeing all these pretty perfect things and all these amazing vacations, but hey, I felt anxious yesterday, and who wants to talk about it? So Instagram is and I've just created so many deep relationships through Instagram by taking this approach. So Instagram has a soft spot in my heart, but I would love to connect with any of you guys in the social channel that you enjoy spending time in.
That is so cool. And so, Tim, any final thoughts before we take off?
Just thank you so much. This is amazing conversation. I think one that many of us need to hear right now. Many of us are going through different things right now. And I encourage you all to be unfiltered on social media. You don't have to share everything, right? But some things you're going through are going to resonate, even if it's not everything.
Exactly.
Thanks again, Julia. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week on the Tim and Jim Show.
Who's Joe?
I'm Joe.
Maybe we're going to have another co-host.